Hey foodies, welcome back. Today we're baking a beautiful gluten-free lemon blueberry loaf that's soft, tender, and packed with fresh, local blueberries and a fresh, zesty lemon flavor. It's the perfect loaf for brunch, afternoon tea, or whenever you're craving something bright and delicious. We'll be using Frankie's gluten-free all-purpose flour to create a loaf that's every bit as light and satisfying as the classic version. So grab your mixing bowl and let's get baking. And we're going to start by taking our fresh picked blueberries and mixing in a little bit of the gluten-free flour. And this is to coat the blueberries in the flour to prevent them from sinking all the way to the bottom. When you coat them, it just helps them stay dispersed evenly into the cake or the loaf. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. Next, I want to take my lemon zest and drop that into my sugar. And I'm going to just mix that up a little bit. And the sugar is extracting the oils from the lemon zest. And the lemon zest is infusing the sugar with that wonderful lemon flavor. And I can smell it already. And then I want to take my baking powder, baking soda, and salt. And I want to mix that into my flour. And this is to disperse the baking soda and the baking powder and the salt evenly into the flour so that you don't get a chunk of baking soda or baking powder or even salt when you bite down. There we go. Now we want to take our butter and our infused sugar, and we're going to beat this up until the butter is nice and light and fluffy. It's been about a minute and a half. I'm going to scrape down the wall of the bowl. There we go. Just to get everything really well mixed and combined. That butter is really nice and soft and fluffy looking. Now I'm going to mix in my eggs, and I'm doing one egg at a time. There we go. So I'm going to mix this up. Now we want to add our lemon juice, our vanilla, and our yogurt. If you don't have yogurt, you can always use sour cream. I like using yogurt because it's a bit lower in fat. There we go. And just give this a mix. Okay, I'm going to give this one good scrape. It's certainly not going to be the last scrape. There we go. I'll even get it off the paddle a little bit so those bigger chunks on the paddle get mixed in. There we go. That looks great. I'm going to add my flour. And I'm going to mix this just until it's combined. There we go. That looks really good. So I'm going to scrape off my paddle. And I'm scraping down the walls just to give everything a really good mix. Still, you can see how fluffy it's getting right in the middle. And then I want to take my blueberries we're going to fold these right in to the mixture. There we go. So I have a loaf pan here. I've greased the pan, and I've also lined it with some parchment paper. And we are going to put this mixture right in. Oh, that looks so good. Looks nice and light and fluffy. A little tiny bit more. There we go, and I'm going to just smooth out the surface a little bit. Getting those corners filled. There we go. And you'll notice I left a little bit of extra parchment paper on the walls. That's to help me lift the loaf out when the time comes. So this is going to go into my preheated oven of 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for about an hour, or until a skewer goes in and comes out clean. See you in a moment. This looks great. It took just over an hour in my oven. Your oven might vary slightly, so do keep an eye on it. I did put a skewer in it, and a couple times I had to pop it back in for 5 minutes just to make sure it was done. If you find it gets too brown on the top, do tent it with some tin foil, and that'll slow down the browning on the top, and it will bake inside a bit longer. So before we pull this out, we're going to make the glaze. So I've got some icing sugar, and I've got some lemon zest, and I just want to put in a couple tablespoons of lemon juice. Let's start with 2. And we're going to whisk. And it doesn't take much liquid for the icing sugar to completely dissolve. Look at that. I think just a tiny little amount. I don't want to make it too thin. I just want it to be nice and runny. Sort of like that. Look at that. That looks great. Oh, okay. So get rid of that. I've got a plate here. I'm going to pull this up and out. Oh, look at the bottom. That looks great. Oh, it smells really nice. Now you want to make sure that your loaf is fully cooled, just so that the glaze doesn't just completely run off. It is going to run off a little bit, but you don't want it to completely dissolve and disappear. Okay, and then we just put a little bit of glaze on. There we go. I'll just spread this out. That looks nice. So I'm going to let this set up for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to cut into it. It's been 15 minutes. The icing is set up enough. I want to cut into it. I want to look. I want to taste it. I can't wait. So I'm going to cut over on this end. Let's see. Look at the blueberries in that. Oh my goodness. That looks really good. Oh, the lemon flavor is coming right through. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this. Mmm. Mmm. Now I picked the end piece, so it's a little bit crunchy, but the center is so moist. Mmm. Mmm. Let me try another little bite. It's so moist. This would be perfect for an afternoon tea, even breakfast. Quick slice, out you go to the car, commute to work. You got your breakfast already made. If you're looking for the recipe, you can visit glutenfreeguy.ca. Thanks for watching.